All right, if you're still up, let's do this. It's the Bearcat Journal Nightcap / Brendel's Bites, and we are definitely doing Brendel's Bites in this one because it's 1 a.m. and I just got home, so staying up until 5 a.m. to write probably not going to happen tonight. This is what you get. Enjoy it, love it, embrace it. Much like you embrace Galactic Fried Chicken, positive will prevail at Galactic Fried Chicken. Visit galacticfriedchicken.com. Download the app. They deliver. You can order ahead. They're open 7 days a week now. No more closed on Tuesdays. So our friends at Galactic Fried Chicken are back in action, ready to service all of your fried chicken needs. And I need to get back down there. I desperately need to get back down there. Mention Pump It Up. Show them your Bearcat Journal membership. Get a discount. 15%. You'll like that. You'll like that. And I promise, look, we've had a lot of people on Bearcat Journal go try Galactic Fried Chicken because of this sponsorship, and they all say the exact same thing. As good, if not better than advertised. So add yourself to the list. All right, Aaron Smith.
All right, Chad Brendel.
We sat here on this exact show last night and wondered aloud how the Cincinnati Bearcats were a 1.5-point favorite against SMU coming into this game.
Wasn't nearly enough, huh?
It should have been a lot more because that was a game for 30, 34 minutes. Cincinnati dominated.
Game for the ages.
I mean, and look, I know the offense is what everybody's going to want to talk about tonight. Defensively, that was as good as they've played all season.
I mean, I think you could say that for both sides of the ball, really. They shot the lights out.
Yeah, offensively was good. I'm not discrediting the offense, but I'm talking about scouting report, assignment, like attention to detail, defense. And you put up their offensive stats. Jesus, I don't know what to do with you.
You're welcome.
Thanks. You gotta love when you have a producer that just does his own thing. This is what I want to talk about, and he's like, "I don't care. I'm talking offense."
Well, I mean, this is what's on the box score for on the.
I know. If I want to talk defense, you should put up the SMU box score so I can talk what I want to talk about.
That's right here.
There we go. See, this is what I want to talk about. See right here, 6 for 18 for Kendrick Davis, 35 minutes. He got his 16 points, but he really, really had to work for it. I thought the ball screen assignments were very, very good. Look, man, that dude is quick. You got a couple glimpses of it tonight. The drive where he went baseline on Mikey Saunders.
Yep.
I mean, he was at the rim in a blur. And I thought they communicated well. I thought they moved well.
Well, we've been talking about that all week. Communication needed to be better since Tulane.
And it was really, really good. And that's why I wanted to talk defense first. Emmanuel Bandamel, 5 of 14. Michael Weathers, 3 of 8. They did a great job making SMU work for everything they got. That is a really good offensive team. You held them to 30% from the floor, under 30% from 3. I can't say enough good things. They were really, Cincinnati was really good on the glass up until late. I think SMU kind of had their way a little bit on some offensive rebounds. But defensively, I mean, they just did an outstanding job.
I don't know. I mean, I was really happy, like I said, about the offense. I mean, they came out, I think, at maybe the second TV timeout when they were up like 24 at that point, or they had scored 24 rather. I think they had shot 71% at that point in time. I did actually check.
That was DeJulius just getting scorching hot in that second segment.
But we haven't seen that really this year. A team coming out just on fire from the jump, and to be shooting 71%. Look, this isn't going to be a game in, game out type thing. We all know that. We've seen kind of where this team averages out, but we have not seen this team top out like this. And that was pretty enthralling to see especially on coming off of that Tulane loss, to just come out the gate and just be the hot hand from the start.
Well, I think what you want to see more than anything, 20 assists on 27 field goals. They got out in transition. They shared the ball. And they had the one thing that they haven't seen much of this year, right? The entire first half up until almost the very end of the half when SMU showed a extended 1-3-1 zone, SMU played man. And Cincinnati finally got a chance to run their man offense. They look pretty. Now you get an idea why that teams are zoning Cincinnati so much, because they can run man-to-man offense pretty good. The zone, they still SMU went to zone in the second half, and you saw their brain cramp up again in the early part of that second half until they finally got some shots to start falling and kind of worked them out of it.
I think for me, the biggest thing that I was excited about is the fact that Jeremiah Davenport struggled in this game, going 2 of 9, 1 of 7 from 3, only 7 points. But you saw some other guys step up, and John Newman had maybe his best game as a Bearcat offensively, scoring 12 on, that 4 of 7. Micah Adams-Woods, we were talking, I think we just talked about it this week on one of the podcasts or one of the nightcaps. Who knows at this point which platform it was even on. We were talking about he needed to be more aggressive with the ball. Well, tonight he was certainly more aggressive. When he shot the ball, he was open, and even when he decided to drive, it wasn't as if there was hesitancy in his taking it to the cup. So it was good to see him kind of aggressive with the ball. And DeJulius, you can't say enough about his game tonight.
The one thing I liked about Davenport was he didn't let a cold shooting night impact his effort. He started 6 rebounds. He was very active. 3 offensive rebounds, or 2 offensive rebounds. And his defense it's never going to be great, but it was solid, and it was what his team needed from him. Too many times, and you could spread that across multiple guys. I mean, Odi Aguama, 2 points, 10 boards. Abdul Ado. No points. 0 for 1 from the floor. 8 rebounds, 2 block shots, a steal, an assist.
Let's talk about that block dunk, though.
It was nice.
I know it was obviously answered back on the other end of the floor when they came back right away with a block of their own. SMU did on a 3 in the corner, but Ado, that blocked dunk was something that we haven't had a big be able to do really down there in a couple of years. So I was excited about that. And JC's not small.
No, and if you look, man, they did a great job limiting SMU's bigs. I mean, 1, 2, Weathers had 7 points, but they had under 10 points from their interior guys, their centers. So I thought all of them. Koval, who only played 3 minutes, which was a little weird. Usually see him in there more. But I thought Vic, and I thought Odie, and I thought Abdul all really gave good minutes inside, even though the scoring wasn't a major factor for those guys. Their effort, their attention to detail, their ability to effectively work ball screens, keeping Kendrick Davis out of the lane. Really good game for those guys. Career high 7 assists for Mike Saunders, career high 17 points for Micah Adams-Woods. Another 20-point game for David DeJulius. John Newman, like you talked about, a really strong game with 12 points, 2 of 5 from 3. He had 5 rebounds, 3 assists, and a steal. Just an all-around complete game from Cincinnati.
Free throws.
They made free 12 of 14 from the line. Quality. Just a start to finish. Look, I think this was a game not only the team needed, but the fan base needed, right?
How many were officially in attendance?
It wasn't great.
Is that on
I
here?
does it say on there? It usually
I
does
don't
if
know
you
if
scroll
it's on
down.
here anywhere. 7,978 officially.
The lie detector test determined that was a lie.
Somebody took a picture from Councilman Barnett's seats, which are like 2 rows behind mine, and there was maybe 10 people in my section that normally sit up there.
You can tell by the upper deck. Like if it's starting to fill in on the sides of the far sides of the upper deck,
Yeah.
then you're gonna have a really good crowd. It did not.
I wonder how many people snuck down to the lower levels, and why would you even? Why I was gonna say, why would you stop anybody? Because you're on ESPN and you don't want to look that empty.
Yeah, it was. But don't play games at 9:30. Start games at 9:30 in the Eastern Time Zone on a weeknight. That is the dumbest shit ever.
Well, and I was curious. It didn't even start on ESPN.
Yeah, because there was hockey or whatever.
Hockey.
Yeah.
You know, because is it even playoff hockey? What are we doing here?
No, playoff hockey doesn't start until like April.
So then doesn't hockey take a backseat anyway? Like, what do we do? No one watches hockey, do they?
I guess. I don't know.
Hockey people are coming after me. It's fine.
Yeah. How bad was the officiating? James Breeding sucks. As soon as I saw his name, I was like, oh, this is going to be a nightmare.
I didn't feel it was terrible. I feel like we've had worse games this year.
That's because it wasn't close.
Well,
think about
some truth to that.
Think about how many bad calls there were that you would have been much more upset about if this game was close.
So, and you did see a lot of the frustration on some of those bad calls from the bigs. Aduado had some really horrendous calls on him where he wasn't reaching in, and he's getting called for reaching in. There was one early on when Koval had just his hands up, went up, and called a foul. Like, I don't know what else he wasn't supposed to. There was nothing else he could have done.
Well, as Breeding goes,
Vic, as always.
Yeah, Breeding goes to the monitor too often, and he's a clown.
Oh, you mean you didn't agree with the I touched your foot?
Yeah.
Tech. Well, and that was one of the things the broadcasters brought up. Obviously, you don't have the access to that when you're sitting there in the arena, but the broadcasters were saying it's not impeding the fast break in college. You have that in the NBA, but you don't have that here. And I don't know if there was just some confusion there. The actual call that potentially, I guess they were calling, is if there was a grab or a push from behind.
Those things didn't happen. It was just two guys going for a loose ball, and the SMU guy ended up with the advantage.
I think there may have been a tangle up between a hand as he's getting up and a foot, as again both players are trying to hustle to the ball.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know if that was a tech.
So stupid. But they overcame. And that was a much needed win. Look, I think you can definitely say this team kind of learned their lesson in that first half against Tulane. We saw in the second half against Tulane that they were much, much better. And that carried over into tonight. And that's it's hopefully a good sign going forward, because no matter what you say about Memphis, going to Memphis and playing a team with that much talent is not easy. So they've got their work cut out for them this weekend, for show.
Well, I think that at the end of the day, the biggest thing about this game is the fact that it's a game that you can build on. Yeah. And I don't think they've had one of those in a while, maybe not since
Illinois.
So I think that this is a game that they can take to practice and be like, look, guys, this is what you did. You did these things correctly, and this is what happens when you do the things that we talk about in practice, and then let them transcribe to the game.
So I don't have a ton more on basketball. Do you?
I mean, outside of the fact that just again, I can't say enough about a 44-27 first half against a team that had been very successful to this point, and you're talking about them being potentially the second best team in the conference, and UC stepped on their throat. So hats off to Wes Miller and the team for all of that.
Is it just inherent that SMU is soft?
I think that it's less to do with SMU and more to do with Tim Jankowski.
But I mean, football too. They're just like they're soft in football. You smack them in the mouth in football, and they owie, owie. You did it in basketball tonight, and they also said owie.
I mean,
look, it wasn't a blowout at halftime, and Cincinnati comes out and goes on an 11-3 run to start the second half, and that was a wrap.
Well, even SMU's first possession to basically just give up as DeJulius was about to block your shot, and you're just like, I'll take the up and down. Don't mind me. And Cincinnati at that point, they ended up on a 14-0 run from before halftime into the second half. So, yeah, I mean, as the announcers are saying, you're going to need to do something here right away, or this game's going to get out of hand.
And it got out of hand right away.
Yeah.
Right away. So, big win. They needed it.
I'll take it.
They needed to see. They needed the confidence of that. Now let's see how they handle a little success and see if they can go into Memphis and get another one and go to 2-1 in American Athletic play on Sunday. Sunday at 3:30. Good thing the Bengals game doesn't matter, right?
I mean,
that would have been a rough one.
Yeah.
You think the Bengals came out of that game against the Chiefs and said, all right, if you're important, go get tested? Because you get 90 days if you're positive. After you come out of quarantine, you get 90 days in the NFL.
I didn't know that. That's brilliant.
Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant if that's
so they got it out of the way before the playoffs.
That's outstanding.
Yeah.
Although I will say I'm worried about how much we've talked about the Bengals here over the course of the last week on all of our platforms. People are going to be just mad.
Oh, well, they'll get over it. Football, only real news of the day. No surprise at all. Myjai Sanders is off to the NFL. He did his time admirably. He was a star. He's one of the three most important players on this team, four most important players on this team, right there with Desmond Ridder, Ahmad Gardner, Kobe Bryant, Myjai Sanders. He had a very good game in the Cotton Bowl going after Bryce Young. And while he won't be as impossible to replace as Ahmad Gardner, they don't have somebody that's like next in line as a rush end to replace Myjai Sanders. So that one's going to be a challenge.
Well, and let's be honest, who has Cincinnati had at defensive end that's been better than Myjai over the course of an entire career at UC?
There's been some guys.
Absolutely. And I'm not saying he's the best to ever do it at Cincinnati, but he's top 3, top 5.
Probably top 5, yeah.
I mean, arguably.
He's on the list for sure.
So to see him get to hang him up and get to walk away after the Cotton Bowl, they all got to do what they got to do. He had a hell of a career, man.
He did. Absolutely phenomenal. To pull a little Jim Rome in there on it. They're going to miss him. This defense is absolutely going to miss having Myjai Sanders getting after the quarterback with his ability to get up the field and cause havoc.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they try to do to come anywhere close to replicating that.
You're going to need a young guy to step up. I mean, you're probably going to go a little bit more power on that defensive line next year.
Sure. I mean, as soon as you put Briggs in, you're talking more power anyway.
Yeah. And if Briggs and hypothetically, if Briggs and Watley are your ends, you don't have that twitchy, get up
long,
the field
rangy
speed guy.
Right.
Yeah. So it's going to be an adjustment. It'll definitely be an adjustment, but what a hell of a career that kid had, man.
On the other hand, you might see more one-on-one opportunities for the line as opposed to Myjai getting double-teamed every time he's out there.
Yeah, for sure.
So it just changes the way that teams are going to scheme for the Cincinnati line.
And they'll be able to throw to the whole field instead of half of it or 30% of it when you take Sauce and Kobe out of it.
Absurd.
We get to throw here. This is where we throw, and that no, we don't do. We don't do that.
It's like Simba talking to his dad. Like,
Yeah.
everywhere you see in the darkness, that's not us.
Sauce and Kobe were the darkness. Darkness.
Oh man,
worked a little Chappelle in too. All right, well, that's gonna wrap it up.
1:15, way earlier than you had anticipated.
It was a little earlier than I had anticipated. I do love now they've got us doing Zoom post-game press conferences again.
Well, and you bring that up. Was there anything of note during the press conference as you were there?
Just that we had to sit in this room here while Wes Miller was on TV in this room here.
I'm just waiting for there to be like the glass that you're in between, like when he's on one side, like almost like a police where
right?
you're on
Like
the double-sided mirror, like single-sided mirror, I guess.
Could you mime? I would mime him.
Unreal.
Welcome to 2022. Still going. Like the COVID's like the fucking Energizer Bunny. Keeps
Never
going
stops.
and going and going. All right. Good night, everybody, or good morning, because there's no way in hell you're watching this tonight. You're
Probably
watching
not.
it tomorrow morning.
I don't know.
Good morning, everyone.
I don't know if Skin sleeps, so
yeah. Whatever. All right. He's Aaron Smith. I'm Chad Brendel. It's the Galactic Fried Chicken BCJ Nightcap right here on BearcatJournal.com.